Coming up on a special Small Town Big Deal salute to veterans.
How this humble farm is rooted in helping American heroes while harvesting the best tasting food on the planet.
Plus, we salute Flags of Valor.
This veteran-owned and operated company also helps our country's heroes.
Then join us as we meet a courageous Marine whose leadership in war set him on a path of hope for thousands back home.
This special salute to veterans is made possible by Bad Boy Mowers.
Welcome to Small Town Big Deal. I am Rodney Miller.
I'm Jan Carl.
And I'm Mallory Lindsay.
Welcome, Mallory. We are so excited to have you and Bad Boy Mowers back with us, teaming up for our very special Salute to Veterans episode.
It's truly our pleasure. You know, at Bad Boy, we have an immense attitude of gratitude for our military, our veterans, and first responders.
Well, welcome, Mallory. And our first story is about an Army Ranger who, after serving his country, is now helping others by serving veterans.
Absolutely. He is growing a new culture by honoring the past.
And he's also leading us to an even better America.
Hey, my name is John Jackson. I'm the Executive Director of Stack Vets Inc., the founder of Comfort Farms, and I'm pretty much the head pig man in charge.
You can add modesty to the list of attributes that make John Jackson so remarkable. This hero who fought in Iraq and Afghanistan has since become an expert in farming as he remains dedicated to serving others, especially veterans.
It's never about money with me. If I'm not doing some good for some people, then I don't want to be involved in it, you know?
John established Comfort Farms in 2016 in honor of a close friend who died in combat.
My Ranger buddy, colleague Comfort, was one of the best dudes I knew. My brain just said, Comfort Farms.
After 6 tours of duty, John was medically retired due to traumatic brain injury. And like so many veterans, he struggled to adjust back to civilian life.
I really didn't want anything to do with my children or my wife. You know, I was just like, intimacy was lost.
So are we going to harvest these?
Yes.
John admits he even contemplated taking his own life, but he found a renewed sense of purpose by returning to the land and reconnecting to his roots.
I belong to a population of captive Africans who came to Virginia and arrived at the point of comfort.
Wow.
No.
Yeah. In my mind, there's no coincidence.
Oh,
you can hold that.
Gosh. Okay, I don't even know if I can lift it.
John doesn't raise the typical or ordinary. He grows heirloom vegetables and raises heritage hogs, turkeys, hens, rabbits, and some curious goats staring us down. All right, who's going to blink first?
Meanwhile, John remains focused on his goal to help veterans heal as they learn new skills in agriculture.
The farm works more like a covert curriculum, right? You think you're coming here to farm, but you're really not. You're coming here to learn about life skills.
Comfort Farms is in Milledgeville, Georgia, which is located about 90 miles west of Augusta, and only about 17,000 call this town home. The farm spans 30 acres, and it requires a lot of hard work to keep it running.
All right, John, what's the first step in taking care of all these animals? John Abbott served in the Army, and after his release, he suffered from PTSD and became suicidal. He got into legal trouble and ended up at Comfort Farms to complete his community service.
My anticipation was I was going to do the time I had to do and then go on and do whatever else. And from day one, I've stayed.
At Comfort Farms, nurturing the land and animals also nurtures the veterans.
That's Clara. I hand-raised her. She's more of kind of a pet for me.
Yeah.
You know, they depend on us, and that's nice to be able to see that something needs you to survive.
April Boyer served as senior airman in the Air Force. What does it mean to you as a veteran, this farm?
It's just a place for us to come out and not feel the weight of the world on our shoulders. This is home. You know, every time I drive up that driveway, I'm like, I'm home.
What we're going to plant today is some garlic.
John wants to bring back community farming with foods packed with natural flavor and nutrition, and it all begins with the simple seed.
This is motherland okra, one of the most rarest okras on the planet. That one's going to seed, so I have to collect these seed varieties too.
And you keep that.
And I keep that.
And
so
you'll dry the seed.
I'll dry the seed.
John searches out heritage seeds, which have not been genetically modified, while also honoring his own heritage.
I traveled to the Amazons to learn about my ancestors who escaped to the jungle, and I was looking for seeds of my people, and I found this old dude. He was a seed saver in the middle of the Amazon, and he had all African varieties, watermelon. It is unbelievable, so sweet.
Thankfully, John didn't make us just take his word for it.
1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. When you see the color, you don't expect the flavor.
No.
That is so
Oh
sweet.
my goodness.
Okay, Rodney, I want you to give me your very best pig call.
Sweet! Sweet!
Oh my gosh, it worked!
If you would like to answer the call to help Comfort Farms, please check out their website. John dreams of expanding to help veterans and communities across the country.
The nonprofit world is scary, but super rewarding. The future for Comfort Farms is going big.
Still ahead?
We try to earn our stripes at a star-spangled company.
Burnt on the edges.
This special salute to veterans is made possible by Bad Boy Mowers.
Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal Salute to Veterans, brought to you by Bad Boy Mowers. You know, the American flag is the most recognized symbol of freedom in the world.
Yeah, and our next story features American flags that are truly one of a kind.
They are made by a company that is veteran-owned,
Veteran-operated.
And veteran-made.
These are the sounds of our country's heroes hard at work at Flags of Valor. The company's located in Winchester, Virginia, a city of less than 30,000, about 2 hours north of Charlottesville.
Here you can see the house where country music legend Patsy Cline was born.
And inside this building, you'll find more great Americans doing what they love, crafting the stars and stripes.
So now we'll come over here and I'll show you Andrew and the CNC machine. So it's a fully automated machine that carves out all of our stars for our unions.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
While they enlist the help of some cutting-edge machines, most of this patriotic process is done by hand. And it all began when founder Brian Stortz started making wood flags in his own garage.
What made you decide to make them?
Because I was in the military, I had deployed so many times. I deployed 9 times. I was an Air Force Special Operations pilot. I'd gotten injured. I came back, I had spinal surgery, and I had just lost my sister, and I was just also at home, not deploying, not wearing my uniform, going to physical rehab, and I missed the flag on my shoulder, and I wanted something cool for my house. In 2012, no one made a really cool wooden American flag made in America. So I just started woodworking the next day.
Brian launched Flags of Valor in 2015 with 3 fundamental truths. Made in America matters, veterans deserve opportunities, and never stop giving back.
One of the things that's so special about these products is that it's an American-made flag made by those that have defended that flag.
Every employee is a veteran or married to a veteran. Jason Steffenhagen served as a combat engineer and did 2 tours in Iraq.
It was a very easy transition coming here because I felt like I knew everybody. We had all kind of done similar things but different, so it was really easy to connect with people.
Andrew Wood served as a medic in the Army Reserves, providing medical support for Rangers.
Flags of Valor donates a lot of money for organizations that are helping other veterans, and that's got to mean something for you.
It really does. I mean, just like my own family, my own brothers, my own sisters, I like to take care of them, and this is a way that I can give back to all my brothers and sisters.
So I'm assuming the best way for Mallory and I to really appreciate this process is to roll up our sleeves.
Yeah, 100%. If you're going to come
what
here,
you think, Jan.
you need to make one.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
All right.
Do it.
This is definitely trial by fire.
Just keep it moving slow.
Oh, slow.
There you go.
We apply heat to bring out the grain. All their wood is American-grown eastern white pine.
It's too dark, right?
It's all right. We'll
It's
paint
too
it.
dark. Oh,
There you go. You're good. That one's good.
That one's good means please stop what you're doing. So the burning thing on my part, that was planned. Yeah, I'm helping them develop an extra crispy line.
Oh, Jann, this is so much harder than I thought.
Right?
I was giving you grief, but...
And then it flames up, and you're like, no!
Burnt on the edges.
Yeah. You good?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
Next, it's time to paint. And thankfully, the grain comes through more if the wood's a bit overcooked.
Oh! Kind of overshot.
No two flags are alike because they're all handcrafted, and each one is signed by the person who created it. They even let us autograph our not-so-banner craftsmanship.
Flags of Valor has donated more than $2 million to hundreds of organizations, including those that benefit first responders. The product line includes challenge coin holders, custom laser-cut plaques, and kits for kids in which they can make 2 flags for one very good reason.
We have ways in there to maybe donate one to a first responder or a healthcare worker, just a really cool way to teach kids about philanthropy.
When I see a veteran, sometimes I feel unworthy. You know how much they've sacrificed, and we all want to do our part. So it's really amazing to find a company that you can support and in turn make a difference for those that you are so grateful for.
Remember, a portion of the proceeds from your purchase will go to organizations that support veterans when you shop online at Flags of Valor. And this company recognizes a kindred spirit when they see one.
So Mallory, from our whole team at Flags of Valor, we wanted to make you something special, not only for Bad Boy Mowers, for sponsoring this veteran episode, but for all that you've done for veterans. So our whole team wanted to present you with something special.
Oh man, thank you so much. On behalf of Bad Boy, you know, we are definitely going to be hanging this proudly at our headquarters.
Well, great, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Of course, thank you.
When we come back, meet a once rebellious teen whose life took an explosive turn in a surprising direction.
I was tired of living at home. I was tired of being told what I could do and could not do, so I joined the United States Marine Corps.
This special salute to veterans is made possible by Bad Boy Mowers.
Welcome back to this special edition of Small Town Big Deal, a salute to veterans, made possible by Bad Boy Mowers.
Our next story is about a remarkable Marine. While serving in Vietnam, a landmine explosion ended in disaster, the double amputation of his legs.
That explosion was the beginning of this Marine's life's mission, which is defined by his surrender.
More than 58,000 U.S. military members lost their lives in the Vietnam War. 153,000 were wounded.
As Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North says, the very best warriors I know have overcome these horrors with undaunted courage, fellowship, faith, endurance, and steadfast loyalty to a cause and each other.
Marine Sergeant Tim Lee is one such warrior, but those positive traits were not always visible in his youth. He was the son of a preacher, but as a teenager he was rebellious and not afraid to admit it.
And so I began to have problems. I began to rebel at school, I rebelled against God. I was sneaking around behind my parents' back and lied to them, and I ended up getting kicked out of college. I ended up getting fired from my job. My life was a mess. I went by the post office and they had a sign out front, "The Marines are looking for a few good men." I was so full of myself, so egotistical. I went in and told them, "I found what you're looking for."
Did you really say that?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Soon, Tim was at Marine Boot Camp on Parris Island in South Carolina.
I get off that bus, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, they come on there yelling and screaming and hollering, and just get you totally disoriented. And I met this guy they called drill instructor. I was there less than 24 hours when I decided I didn't like him and he didn't like me. I tell you, young people, I was tired of living at home. I was tired of being told what I could do and could not do, how to get my hair cut, what time to get out of bed, so I joined the United States Marine Corps. Wasn't the most intelligent thing I ever did.
But it was during his Marine training that Tim began to see a change in himself. He wanted to be a better man.
And after graduation, he was sent to Vietnam, where on March 8, 1971, Tim was leading his men on a minefield sweep.
I should have died, stepped on a 60-pound mine that ripped both my legs off my body, big enough mine to destroy a Jeep. My head was laying in Lee's lap, my best friend, with tears streaming down his face. He's pleading God to let me live. I didn't want to die, I wanted to live. The doctors early on gave up hope, didn't think I was going to live, but God had a plan for my life. 2 weeks on the hospital ship, 2 weeks on the island of Guam, and 8 long months in Philadelphia Naval Hospital, surgery after surgery after surgery. But I woke up one day, and this is the honest God's truth. I sat up in my bed, and I declared out loud, I don't want to be bitter. We have an answer that a lot of the doctors don't have, and it's the Lord. We know that He is our hope, and that we can have peace that passes all understanding.
With courage, family support, and a newly charged faith, he was finally able to go home.
He started building a new life, surrendered to the will of God, with hope for the future.
I was ready to put Vietnam behind me and get on with my life. The last thing I wanted to do was be a preacher.
But God had a different plan. He eventually felt drawn to become a pastor, first for a local church. Then he started getting invitations to speak at other churches and events around the country to tell his powerful story of survival and faith, impressing presidents, military leaders, and well-known pastors.
Tim married his beautiful wife Connie, and they had 3 children. They were on a journey together to help others find hope. Then one day in 2013, the Marine chaplain for Parris Island called.
He said, would you be interested in coming and speaking to the recruits and the Marines at Parris Island?
Wow.
Of course, he had my attention immediately.
And Tim headed once again to Parris Island, this time with a message of faith.
So far, he has been there 31 times, sharing hope through his story of rebellion, sacrifice, survival, and surrender. Thousands of lives are being changed as these men and women surrender to Jesus as Lord of their lives.
What does Veterans Day mean to you, Tim?
Well, anyone that puts on the uniform, they're saying I'm willing, if needs be, to give my life for my country. So there's never a wrong time to say thank you to a veteran. I've never seen one time for them be offended to say we appreciate you. And those little words sometimes can help them maybe get through another hour or a day or a week.
What a great reminder, and something we all can do when we come across veterans or active military in our daily lives.
Small Town Big Deal was created to tell great and wholesome stories that entertain and inspire us all. With this story, you may have found the peace and hope that makes you want to know more. For great insight and the fascinating story of Tim's life, you can order his book, Born on the 5th of July, from timlee.org. You'll be glad you did.
Tim's strength, love, faith, and caring illustrate how he continues to adhere to the motto of the U.S. Marines, Semper Fi, meaning always faithful.
We'll be right back.
This special salute to veterans is made possible by Bad Boy Mowers.
Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal.
We hope you've enjoyed this special Salute to Veterans brought to you by Bad Boy Mowers. And I want to say thank you to evangelist Tim Lee for his message of hope and his service and sacrifice to America.
You know, it's always an honor for myself and Bad Boy to share these amazing stories.
And from all of us to all of the veterans, we can't thank you enough for your service. Truly, we appreciate each and every one of you.
I'm Rodney Miller.
I'm Jan Carl.
And I'm Mallory Lindsay.
Join us again next week when once again we celebrate the great stories from across America.
Veterans Day to me is reaching out to my brothers and sisters that I served with and just checking up on them. You know, I don't want them to be forgotten about. We have a day for remembering the fallen, and I feel like Veterans Day should be for remembering the people who are still here and still fighting that fight. You know, we need to give them the appreciation they deserve on that day.